Question 1. A Certified Dietary Manager, CDM, is reviewing the monthly financial report and notes a significant unfavorable variance in food costs. Upon investigation, the CDM discovers that inventory counts are consistently higher than perpetual records, and excessive amounts of high-value items are frequently being reordered. What is the most likely root cause of this variance? A. Inaccurate recipe costing and portion control. B. Inefficient prime vendor contract negotiation. C. Issues with inventory management, possibly including theft or waste. D. Unexpected increase in patient census and dietary needs. Answer: C. Issues with inventory management, possibly including theft or waste. This question tests your understanding of financial management, specifically analyzing budget variances related to food costs and inventory control. The key clues are inventory counts are consistently higher than perpetual records and excessive amounts of high-value items are frequently being reordered, which strongly suggest a discrepancy between what should be on hand and what is actually available, pointing to potential losses not captured by records. This indicates a breakdown in inventory control, which can include theft, spoilage, or unrecorded waste, leading to higher purchasing than necessary and thus an unfavorable variance. An example is staff taking high-cost items like specialty cheeses or meats, or products expiring before use due to poor rotation. Remember, when actual inventory is less than recorded, and purchasing is high, it flags a major control problem. Question 2. During a routine sanitation inspection, a state surveyor observes raw chicken being prepped on a cutting board immediately after it was used for slicing cooked turkey, without proper cleaning and sanitizing in between. Which food safety principle is most directly being violated in this scenario? A. Time/temperature control for safety, TCS, foods. B. Cross-contamination prevention. C. Proper hand hygiene. D. Allergen management. Answer: B. Cross-contamination prevention. This question focuses on critical food safety principles, specifically preventing the spread of harmful microorganisms. The scenario explicitly describes raw chicken, which carries bacteria, coming into contact with a surface previously used for cooked turkey without intermediate cleaning, indicating a direct transfer of pathogens. Cross-contamination occurs when harmful bacteria from raw foods are transferred to cooked foods or ready-to-eat foods, making them unsafe. For instance, using the same tongs for raw meat and then cooked vegetables without washing them would be another example of cross-contamination. Always remember to clean and sanitize surfaces and utensils between handling raw and cooked foods to prevent illnesses. Question 3. A long-term care facility resident with a history of dysphagia is refusing pureed textures and frequently chokes during mealtimes. The CDM observes that the resident attempts to eat items from a regular diet tray brought in by a visitor. What is the most appropriate initial action for the CDM to take? A. Document the refusal and continue offering the prescribed pureed diet. B. Immediately contact the physician to request an order for a regular diet. C. Conduct a reassessment of the resident's swallowing ability with the interdisciplinary team. D. Inform the visitor that they are not permitted to bring outside food into the facility. Answer: C. Conduct a reassessment of the resident's swallowing ability with the interdisciplinary team. This question tests your understanding of patient safety, therapeutic diet adherence, and interdisciplinary team collaboration, especially concerning dysphagia. The key clues are the resident's history of dysphagia, refusing pureed textures, and frequently chokes, which are serious red flags indicating a potential aspiration risk. The most appropriate initial action is to involve the team, likely including a speech-language pathologist, to reevaluate the swallowing ability and determine the safest texture, rather than immediately changing the diet or simply documenting noncompliance. For example, A thorough reassessment might reveal an improvement in swallowing or identify compensatory strategies. Always prioritize resident safety and collaborate with the healthcare team when there are significant changes or concerns about a resident's dietary needs. Question 4. A CDM is developing a new employee orientation program for the dietary department. Which of the following components is most crucial to include to ensure new hires understand their role in maintaining regulatory compliance and patient safety from day one? A. Detailed explanation of the facility's mission statement and history. B. Review of personal benefits, vacation policies, and parking procedures. C. Comprehensive training on food safety, HIPAA, and emergency procedures. D. Introduction to all existing staff members and department social norms. Answer: C. Comprehensive training on food safety, HIPAA, and emergency procedures. This question highlights the importance of effective onboarding and compliance training for new dietary staff, especially regarding patient safety and legal/regulatory requirements. While all options have some value in orientation, most crucial points to essential training that directly impacts resident well-being, facility compliance, and critical safety protocols. New hires must immediately understand their responsibilities for preventing foodborne illness, protecting patient information, HIPAA, and responding to emergencies to avoid immediate risks and penalties. For instance, a new food service worker must know how to take food temperatures correctly and what to do in case of a fire alarm before starting their duties. Always prioritize training that directly impacts safety and regulatory adherence to minimize risks for both residents and the facility. Question 5. The dietary department has experienced a significant increase in overtime hours over the past quarter. The CDM has reviewed staffing schedules and determined that the current staffing matrix is appropriate for the typical census. What is the most likely underlying reason for the increased overtime, and what action should the CDM prioritize? A. Inadequate employee training. Implement mandatory refresher courses. B. Unplanned employee absenteeism, e.g., call-offs. Implement stricter attendance policies and cross-training. C. Menu complexity. Simplify menu offerings to reduce preparation time. D. Poor equipment maintenance. Invest in new, more efficient equipment. Answer: B. Unplanned employee absenteeism, e.g., call-offs. Implement stricter attendance policies and cross-training. This question tests your ability to diagnose and address human resources challenges, specifically labor cost control related to overtime. The key clues are significant increase in overtime hours and the determination that the current staffing matrix is appropriate for the typical census, which means the problem isn't chronic understaffing. This strongly suggests that unexpected staff shortages due to unplanned absenteeism, like call-offs, are forcing existing staff to work extra hours. Prioritizing stricter attendance policies can deter excessive call-offs, while cross-training staff ensures adequate coverage when absences do occur, reducing the need for costly overtime. For example, if the cook calls off sick, a cross-trained aide can fill in for basic prep tasks. Focus on solutions that directly address unexpected staffing gaps. Question 6. A CDM is preparing a budget proposal for the upcoming fiscal year. After reviewing historical data, they project a 3% increase in raw food costs due to market trends. If last year's raw food expenditure was $150,000, what is the projected raw food cost for the upcoming year? A. $145,500. B. $153,000. C. $154,500. D. $159,000. Answer: C. $154,500. This question assesses your basic financial calculation skills, specifically projecting costs based on a percentage increase. To find the projected cost, you first calculate the amount of the increase by multiplying the previous year's cost by the projected percentage increase. In this case, 3% of $150,000 is $150,000 asterisk 0.03 equals $4,500. Then, you add this increase to the original raw food expenditure. $150,000 plus $4,500 equals $154,500. This calculation is essential for accurate budget planning, allowing a CDM to anticipate expenses and allocate funds appropriately. Always remember that a percentage increase means adding a portion of the original amount, not subtracting. Question 7. A new resident in a long-term care facility has a documented history of severe allergic reactions to peanuts, tree nuts, and shellfish. The CDM is planning their initial menu. Which of the following is the most critical immediate action for the CDM to take to ensure this resident's safety? A. Request a physician's order for an EpiPen to be available at meal times. B. Implement a facility-wide policy restricting all peanuts and shellfish from the premises. C. Develop an individualized care plan outlining specific allergen avoidance, cross-contact prevention, and staff education. D. Label all food items on the tray line with a comprehensive list of ingredients for the resident to review. Answer: C. Develop an individualized care plan outlining specific allergen avoidance, cross-contact prevention, and staff education. This question emphasizes critical thinking in managing severe food allergies and ensuring resident safety. While other options might be part of a broader strategy, developing an individualized care plan is the most critical immediate action because it outlines specific, comprehensive, and actionable steps tailored to the resident's unique needs. This plan must detail exactly what allergens to avoid, how to prevent cross-contact during preparation and service, and ensure all staff involved in food handling are educated on these protocols. For instance, the plan would specify separate prep areas or utensils for allergen-free meals. Always remember that comprehensive, individualized planning and staff training are paramount for preventing severe allergic reactions. Question 8. The CDM observes that inventory turnover for dry goods has significantly decreased, leading to more items approaching their expiration dates before being used. What is the most effective strategy to improve inventory turnover and reduce waste in this situation? A. Increase the quantity of bulk purchases to take advantage of volume discounts. B. Implement a just-in-time (JIT) inventory system for dry goods. C. Redesign the storage area to improve FIFO, first in, first out, rotation. D. Negotiate longer payment terms with suppliers to improve cash flow. Answer: B. Implement a just-in-time (JIT) inventory system for dry goods. This question tests your knowledge of inventory management strategies and their impact on efficiency and waste reduction. A decreased inventory turnover and items nearing expiration indicate that too much product is being ordered or held for too long. A just-in-time (JIT) system focuses on ordering products only when they are needed, minimizing inventory holding costs and reducing the risk of spoilage or obsolescence. For example, instead of ordering a 3-month supply of flour, you order a 2-week supply more frequently. While FIFO is important for rotation, JIT directly addresses the issue of excessive inventory leading to slow turnover. Remember, JIT aims to reduce excess stock and ensure products move quickly. Question 9. A resident's family expresses strong dissatisfaction with the facility's menu, stating the food is bland and repetitive, threatening to pull their family member from the facility. The CDM has recently conducted a resident satisfaction survey showing generally positive feedback. What is the most appropriate initial response for the CDM? A. Politely inform the family that overall resident satisfaction is high, and their complaint is an isolated incident. B. Offer to provide the family with a list of alternative nearby facilities. C. Listen actively to the family's specific concerns, apologize for their dissatisfaction, and offer to collaborate on solutions. D. Immediately change the menu cycle to incorporate more variety based on the family's suggestions. Answer: C. Listen actively to the family's specific concerns, apologize for their dissatisfaction, and offer to collaborate on solutions. This question assesses your customer service and conflict resolution skills, particularly when faced with a serious complaint. The most appropriate initial response emphasizes de-escalation and problem-solving, even if the overall survey results are positive. Dismissing the complaint or making immediate, broad changes without understanding specifics is ineffective. Active listening, expressing empathy, apologize for their dissatisfaction, and inviting collaboration show respect and a commitment to resolving the issue. For instance, you might offer a specific meal request or discuss their family members' preferences in detail. Always remember that effective complaint resolution starts with listening and a willingness to partner with the complainant. Question 10. The State Health Department is conducting an unannounced inspection of the Dietary Department. The surveyor asks to see the documentation for daily refrigerator and freezer temperature logs. What is the primary reason for maintaining these records? A. To prove compliance with financial budgeting for utilities. B. To ensure proper staff training on equipment operation. C. To demonstrate adherence to food safety standards and prevent bacterial growth. D. To track equipment depreciation for asset management. Answer: C. To demonstrate adherence to food safety standards and prevent bacterial growth. This question focuses on the regulatory importance of record-keeping in food service, particularly concerning food safety. The primary reason for maintaining temperature logs is directly linked to preventing foodborne illness. Maintaining specific temperature ranges in refrigerators, below 41 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius, and freezers, below 0 degrees Fahrenheit or -18 degrees Celsius, is crucial for inhibiting the growth of harmful bacteria in time/temperature control for safety (TCS) foods. These logs serve as documented evidence that the facility is consistently meeting these critical safety standards. For example, if a log shows a refrigerator was above 41 degrees Fahrenheit for an extended period, it indicates a potential risk requiring immediate corrective action. Always remember that temperature logs are a vital component of a robust food safety program, not just for compliance but for public health. Question 11. A CDM is leading a quality improvement (QI) initiative aimed at reducing patient wait times for meal service. After implementing new tray assembly procedures, the team finds that wait times have decreased by 15%, but patient satisfaction scores related to meal delivery speed have only slightly improved. What is the next most appropriate step in this QI process? A. Discontinue the initiative, as the desired outcome was not fully achieved. B. Revert to the old tray assembly procedures, as the change did not significantly impact satisfaction. C. Investigate further to identify other factors influencing patient satisfaction with meal delivery speed. D. Set an even more ambitious target for wait time reduction to achieve greater impact. Answer: C. Investigate further to identify other factors influencing patient satisfaction with meal delivery speed. This question tests your understanding of the continuous nature of quality improvement (QI) cycles. While wait times improved, the slightly improved patient satisfaction indicates that simply reducing wait time wasn't the only, or perhaps even the primary, factor impacting satisfaction with delivery speed. The next most appropriate step is to delve deeper and understand what other elements contribute to the patient's perception of meal delivery. For example, issues like missing items, incorrect orders, or staff demeanor during delivery could still be frustrating patients. QI is an iterative process. You must analyze results and continue to identify and address all contributing factors to achieve the desired outcome. Question 12. A long-term care facility is planning to implement a liberalized diet policy for residents. What is the primary ethical consideration a CDM must balance when liberalizing diets for residents, especially those with chronic conditions like diabetes or heart disease? A. The financial implications of providing a wider variety of food options. B. The potential for increased staff workload in managing diverse diet requests. C. The residents' right to choice and quality of life versus potential nutritional risks. D. The impact on regulatory survey compliance if residents gain weight. Answer: C. The residents' right to choice and quality of life versus potential nutritional risks. This question addresses a significant ethical dilemma in dietary management within long-term care, balancing resident autonomy with clinical best practices. Liberalizing diets means moving away from restrictive therapeutic diets towards more patient-centered choices. The primary ethical consideration is weighing the residents' fundamental right to make choices about their food and enjoy their meals, right to choice and quality of life, against the potential health consequences, potential nutritional risks, of moving away from highly controlled diets for conditions like diabetes or heart disease. For example, allowing a diabetic resident occasional desserts may improve their morale but requires careful monitoring of blood sugar. Always remember to prioritize the resident's dignity and preferences while managing risks collaboratively with the healthcare team. Question 13. When a natural disaster, such as a prolonged power outage, impacts a healthcare facility, what is the most critical food service management priority for the CDM in the immediate aftermath? A. Calculating financial losses incurred due to spoiled food. B. Ensuring the safety and adequate hydration of residents. C. Communicating with food vendors about delayed deliveries. D. Developing a revised menu plan for future emergency situations. Answer: B. Ensuring the safety and adequate hydration of residents. This question assesses your understanding of emergency preparedness and the CDM's role in disaster response, emphasizing patient well-being. In an immediate disaster scenario like a prolonged power outage, the most critical priority for food service is the direct impact on residents. While other tasks are important later, immediate action must focus on providing safe food and water, which are essential for survival and preventing dehydration or illness. For example, this might involve accessing emergency food supplies, distributing bottled water, and ensuring safe food handling without power. Always remember that in an emergency, resident safety and immediate needs always come first. Question 14. A CDM identifies that the dietary department consistently runs out of commonly used items like milk and bread before the next delivery. This leads to frequent emergency purchases from retail stores at higher prices. What is the most effective purchasing and inventory control strategy to address this issue? A. Implement a just-in-time (JIT) inventory system for all perishable goods. B. Increase par levels and adjust reorder points for these frequently used items. C. Negotiate a sole source contract with a single vendor for all food items. D. Conduct weekly physical inventory counts for all dry storage items. Answer: B. Increase par levels and adjust reorder points for these frequently used items. This question focuses on practical inventory management to prevent stockouts and reduce costs. The problem states that the department consistently runs out of essential items, leading to expensive emergency purchases. This indicates that current stock levels, par levels, or the point at which new orders are placed, reorder points, are too low for the actual usage rate. Increasing these levels ensures sufficient inventory is on hand between deliveries, preventing stockouts. For example, if you typically use 10 gallons of milk daily and deliveries are every 2 days, a par level of 25 gallons might be more appropriate, accounting for usage plus a safety margin. The goal is to optimize inventory to meet demand without excessive holding. Question 15. The dietary department has been experiencing a high rate of staff turnover among its entry-level food service workers. Exit interviews suggest dissatisfaction with the work environment and lack of feeling valued. What strategy would be most effective for the CDM to implement to improve retention? A. Increase starting wages to be higher than competitors. B. Implement a formal employee recognition program and solicit staff input on department operations. C. Mandate additional hours of advanced culinary training for all staff. D. Conduct more frequent disciplinary actions for minor infractions to maintain discipline. Answer: B. Implement a formal employee recognition program and solicit staff input on department operations. This question addresses human resources management, specifically strategies for improving employee retention when dissatisfaction stems from a lack of feeling valued. While higher wages can help, the problem description points to a deeper issue related to the work environment and feeling appreciated. Implementing an employee recognition program, e.g., Employee of the Month, verbal praise, directly addresses the feeling of being valued. Soliciting staff input empowers employees, gives them ownership, and demonstrates that their opinions matter, fostering a more positive and engaging work environment. For example, holding regular short meetings where staff can offer suggestions for improving workflows. A positive and inclusive environment often outweighs minor pay differences in improving retention. Question 16. A CDM is reviewing a resident's medical record and notes new orders for a low-sodium, 2-gram diet. Which of the following foods would be most important for the CDM to limit or avoid when planning meals for this resident? A. Fresh fruits and vegetables. B. Unsalted nuts and seeds. C. Canned soups and processed meats. D. Lean cuts of poultry and fish. Answer: C. Canned soups and processed meats. This question tests your knowledge of therapeutic diets, specifically a low-sodium restriction. The low-sodium, 2-gram diet requires strict control over sodium intake. Canned soups and processed meats, like deli meats, bacon, sausage, are notoriously high in sodium due to added salt for preservation and flavor. Fresh fruits, vegetables, unsalted nuts, and lean proteins are naturally low in sodium. For example, a single serving of canned chicken noodle soup can contain over 800 milligrams of sodium, making it highly unsuitable for a 2-gram sodium limit, 2,000 milligrams total for the day. Understanding common high-sodium culprits is crucial for effective meal planning for these diets. Question 17. The Certified Dietary Manager identifies an increasing trend of pressure injuries among residents in a long-term care facility, despite consistent nutrition screenings. What is the most proactive step the CDM should take to contribute to the interdisciplinary team's efforts to address this issue? A. Advise nursing staff to increase repositioning frequency for all residents. B. Initiate a facility-wide mandatory weight gain program for all residents. C. Conduct a comprehensive review of resident nutritional status, focusing on protein intake, hydration, and vitamin/mineral adequacy. D. Recommend immediate referral of all residents with pressure injuries to a registered dietitian for individual assessment. Answer: C. Conduct a comprehensive review of resident nutritional status, focusing on protein intake, hydration, and vitamin/mineral adequacy. This question assesses the CDM's role in an interdisciplinary approach to complex resident care issues like pressure injuries. While referring to an RD is good, the most proactive step for the CDM, who already manages overall dietary services, is to initiate a comprehensive review of the facility's nutritional care for all residents, focusing on key nutrients vital for skin integrity and healing. Protein, hydration, and specific vitamins/minerals, like vitamin C and zinc, are crucial for preventing and healing pressure injuries. For example, the The CDM might review menu cycles to ensure adequate protein offerings or check fluid intake records. This proactive step helps identify systemic nutritional gaps rather than just reacting to individual cases. Question 18. A CDM receives a complaint that a dietary aide was overheard discussing a resident's weight loss and refusal to eat with another staff member in the public dining area. This situation raises concerns about a violation of which federal regulation? A. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA. B. Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA. C. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. D. Food and Drug Administration, FDA. Answer: C. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. This question tests your knowledge of a critical federal regulation governing patient privacy. The scenario describes a dietary aide discussing a resident's protected health information, PHI, specifically their weight loss and eating habits, in a public area. HIPAA regulations are designed to protect the privacy and security of individuals' health information. Discussing such details where others can overhear is a clear breach of confidentiality under HIPAA, regardless of intent. For example, even a casual remark about a patient's diet choices can be a violation if overheard. Always remember that patient health information, including dietary details, must be protected and discussed only in private, on a need-to-know basis. Question 19. The CDM is planning the annual budget and needs to allocate funds for professional development for the dietary staff. Which of the following professional development activities would offer the most direct and immediate benefit to enhancing food safety practices in the kitchen? A. Sponsoring staff attendance at an advanced culinary arts workshop. B. Purchasing new recipe books focused on international cuisine. C. Arranging for a certified food safety instructor to provide an in-service on HACCP principles and critical control points. D. Providing subscriptions to nutrition journals for all staff members. Answer: C. Arranging for a certified food safety instructor to provide an in-service on HACCP principles and critical control points. This question evaluates your understanding of effective professional development aligned with critical departmental needs, specifically food safety. While other options offer benefits, a direct and immediate benefit to food safety points to specialized training on established safety systems. HACCP, Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Points, is a systematic approach to food safety that identifies potential hazards and establishes control measures. An in-service directly taught by a certified instructor ensures staff gain practical knowledge and skills in identifying and controlling food safety risks within their specific kitchen environment. For example, staff learning about critical temperatures and proper cooling methods for soups. Prioritize training that directly addresses regulatory compliance and risk reduction. Question 20. A resident in a long-term care facility is experiencing unintended weight loss. The CDM reviews their diet and notices they are frequently refusing meals due to poor appetite. The physician has ordered a high-calorie, high-protein diet with supplements. What is the most effective approach for the CDM to improve this resident's nutritional intake? A. Provide larger portion sizes of regular meals to encourage more intake. B. Offer small, frequent meals and nutrient-dense snacks, including oral nutrition supplements between meals. C. Limit fluid intake during meals to prevent feeling full too quickly. D. Request a tube feeding order from the physician immediately. Answer: B. Offer small, frequent meals and nutrient-dense snacks, including oral nutrition supplements between meals. This question assesses your practical application of nutrition interventions for unintended weight loss and poor appetite. The key clues are unintended weight loss, poor appetite, and the high-calorie, high-protein diet order. Providing larger portion sizes may overwhelm someone with poor appetite. Instead, offering small, frequent meals and nutrient-dense snacks, like cheese, avocado, fortified milk, ensures continuous nutrient delivery without overwhelming the resident, and oral nutrition supplements between meals add concentrated calories and protein. For instance, offering a fortified pudding or a small sandwich more frequently throughout the day can significantly boost intake. Focus on strategies that accommodate reduced appetite while maximizing nutrient density. Question 21. During a financial audit, it's discovered that the actual food costs for the last quarter were significantly lower than budgeted, while labor costs were higher. The patient census remained stable. What is the most likely operational reason for this variance pattern? A. Overpurchasing of food items, leading to spoilage. B. Underutilization of staff, resulting in layoffs. C. Staff preparing meals from scratch more frequently, reducing reliance on pre-made, higher-cost convenience foods. D. Increased overtime hours due to staff shortages or inefficiencies. Answer: D. Increased overtime hours due to staff shortages or inefficiencies. This question tests your ability to connect financial variances with operational realities in food service. If food costs are lower than budgeted and labor costs are higher, with a stable census, it suggests a trade-off. Money saved on food is being spent on labor. The most common reason for higher labor costs is increased overtime, often due to staff shortages, e.g., call-offs, or inefficiencies in scheduling and production. While preparing from scratch can reduce food costs, it typically increases labor costs, which aligns with the scenario. For example, if short-staffed, existing employees work longer shifts, reducing food waste but racking up overtime pay. Look for the operational change that would logically shift costs from one category to another. Question 22. A certified dietary manager identifies an unusually high volume of leftover food on patient trays after meals. This consistently leads to increased food waste and higher operating costs. What is the most effective initial strategy to address this issue? A. Reduce portion sizes for all meals across the board. B. Implement a selective menu that allows patients to choose their meal components. C. Conduct a detailed plate waste study to identify specific disliked items or portions. D. Transition to a bulk food delivery system for all meals. Answer: C. Conduct a detailed plate waste study to identify specific disliked items or portions. This question tests your approach to identifying and solving efficiency problems related to food waste. The key phrase, unusually high volume of leftover food, indicates a systemic issue. While reducing portions or implementing a selective menu might be future solutions, the most effective initial strategy is to understand why the food is being left. A plate waste study provides objective data on what foods are consistently not eaten and by whom, allowing for targeted adjustments rather than guesswork. For instance, you might discover that a specific vegetable or side dish is consistently left untouched. This data-driven approach ensures that solutions are based on evidence, leading to more effective waste reduction. Question 23. A long-term care facility is cited during a survey for not having adequate potable water available for residents during a short-term boil water advisory. What specific aspect of the CDM's emergency preparedness plan was most likely deficient? A. Vendor contracts for emergency food supplies. B. Communication protocols with local emergency services. C. Provision for alternative water sources and safe water storage. D. Staff training on disaster menu implementation. Answer: C. Provision for alternative water sources and safe water storage. This question focuses on the specific components of an emergency preparedness plan related to basic necessities. The citation directly mentions not having adequate potable water available during a boil water advisory. This points to a deficiency in planning for the most fundamental resource, safe drinking water, when the primary source is compromised. An effective emergency plan must detail how alternative water will be sourced, e.g., bottled water, water purification methods, and safely stored to ensure resident hydration. For example, the plan should specify the minimum quantity of bottled water to store per resident. This highlights the critical importance of anticipating and addressing core life-sustaining needs in any emergency. Question 24. The CDM is planning the department's annual budget. They are considering investing in a new combi oven, which is significantly more expensive than a conventional convection oven but promises to reduce cooking time and improve food quality. What type of cost analysis is most relevant for the CDM to conduct before making this purchase decision? A. Variance analysis. B. Break-even analysis. C. Cost-benefit analysis. D. Opportunity cost analysis. Answer: C. Cost-benefit analysis. This question assesses your understanding of financial decision-making in a food service context, specifically for capital expenditures. The CDM is weighing a significantly more expensive item against promises to reduce cooking time and improve food quality. A cost-benefit analysis is the most relevant tool here because it systematically compares the total costs of an investment, e.g., purchase price, installation, training, with the total expected benefits, e.g., labor savings from reduced cooking time, improved patient satisfaction from better food quality, energy efficiency. For example, calculating how much labor time would be saved annually versus the oven's purchase price. This analysis helps determine if the investment is economically justified by its potential returns. Question 25. A food service worker is performing daily cleaning duties and mixes bleach with an ammonia-based cleaner to clean kitchen surfaces, resulting in a strong, noxious odor. What immediate action should the CDM take? A. Instruct the worker to use gloves and continue cleaning until the task is complete. B. Evacuate the area, ensure proper ventilation, and consult the safety data sheets, SDS, for both chemicals. C. Immediately fire the employee for violating safety protocols. D. Provide the employee with a respirator mask and eye protection for future cleaning tasks. Answer: B. Evacuate the area, ensure proper ventilation, and consult the safety data sheets, SDS, for both chemicals. This question emphasizes immediate safety protocols in response to a chemical hazard. Mixing bleach and ammonia creates dangerous chloramine gases, which can cause severe respiratory problems and even be fatal. The immediate action must prioritize the safety of all personnel. Evacuating the area prevents further exposure, ventilation helps disperse the gas, and consulting the SDS provides crucial information on the specific hazards, first aid, and proper handling procedures for the chemicals involved. For instance, the SDS would confirm the toxic reaction and recommend immediate fresh air. Always remember to prioritize safety by removing personnel from danger and then identifying the exact nature of the hazard.